How factories decided which nations would be rich or poor. Factories didn't just build wealth, they decided who gets it, who rises, who is left behind, and who is locked out permanently. The same machines that created prosperity in some nations destroyed industries in others. The same system that produced abundance manufactured poverty. This wasn't an accident, it wasn't bad luck, and it definitely wasn't about effort. It was about control. Who owned the factories, who controlled production, and who was forced to serve the system they never designed. Because once factories took over the world, wealth stopped being earned equally. It was assigned. Part 1. Before factories, wealth was balanced. Before factories, the world wasn't equal, but it wasn't locked either. Power shifted slowly. Wealth moved over centuries. No single region could dominate forever. Asia produced the majority of the world's manufactured goods. India's textiles clothed continents. China's workshops fed global trade. The Middle East controlled commerce routes. Africa supplied gold, salt, and agricultural power. Europe wasn't poor, but it wasn't dominant. Most Europeans worked the land. Production was local. Energy came from muscle, animals, wind, and water. That meant limits. No matter how ambitious a ruler was, you couldn't force production past human capacity. A kingdom could grow, but it couldn't flood the world. This created balance. Craftsmen mattered, skill mattered, time mattered. Wealth grew slowly, and because it grew slowly, it could spread. Then came the break. Not an invention, but a conversion. Human effort was replaced by mechanical force. Coal turned into motion. Steam turned into output. Time itself was compressed. Factories didn't just speed things up, they removed limits. Production was no longer tied to daylight or seasons or bodies. One factory could now do the work of thousands. One owner could control the output of an entire region. This wasn't progress for everyone, it was leverage for a few. And once production escaped human limits, whoever controlled machines could outproduce, outprice, and outlast everyone else. That's the moment the world tilted. Not because some nations became smarter, but because they learned how to multiply power. Factories didn't create wealth, they changed what wealth was. Part 2. Factories didn't need colonies, but they used them. Factories need three things: raw materials, cheap labor, guaranteed buyers. Europe had machines, but not enough of the rest, so they built a system. Colonies weren't accidents, they weren't charity projects, they were factory extensions. Cotton from India, rubber from Congo, sugar from the Caribbean, copper from Africa. Colonies were banned from building their own factories, banned from competing, banned from industrializing. They were locked into one role: supplier. Raw materials went out, finished goods came back, expensive. Local industries collapsed, artisans were destroyed, self-sufficiency vanished. Factories in Europe grew rich because factories elsewhere were forbidden. This wasn't free trade, it was enforced dependency. Factories didn't make nations rich, control over factories did. Part 3. The factory divide became a wealth trap. Here's the trap most nations never escaped. Once a nation specializes only in raw materials, its economy becomes fragile. Prices fluctuate, revenue collapses overnight. Factories don't have this problem. If cotton prices fall, factory owners raise margins elsewhere. If wages rise, machines replace workers. If demand drops, production shifts. Factories absorb shocks. Raw material economies break under them. So industrial nations gained stable income, strong currencies, financial systems, banks, investment loops. Non-industrial nations got debt, currency weakness, trade deficits, dependency. Even after colonialism ended, the factory advantage remained. Former colonies exported cheap, imported expensive, borrowed to survive, paid interest forever. This is why catching up became almost impossible. Factories didn't create wealth, they created momentum, and momentum is ruthless. Poverty wasn't inherited, it was locked in. Part 4. Why some nations industrialized and others couldn't. People ask the wrong question. They ask, why didn't every country industrialize? The real question is who was allowed to. Industrialization requires capital, protection, time, policy control. Early industrial nations protected their factories, banned foreign competition, used tariffs aggressively, subsidized industries. But later nations, they were told, open your markets, remove protection, let the free market decide. Free markets favor the already industrialized. By the time others tried to build factories, they faced cheaper imports, stronger currencies, foreign corporations, debt pressure. Factories don't grow in hostile soil. Some nations broke through, barely. Most didn't. Not because they failed, because the system was already closed. The ladder wasn't kicked away, it was never offered. Factories evolved, control didn't. Today, factories still decide global wealth, they just look different. Supply chains, automation, intellectual property, high-tech manufacturing. Countries with advanced factories control technology, defense, finance, narratives. Countries without them supply labor, resources, markets. The names changed, the structure didn't. And the most brutal truth? Factories don't care about borders, but power does. Factories go where control already exists, which means wealth follows power, not effort. The real lesson. Factories didn't make the world fairer. They made inequality permanent. They rewarded early control, punished late entry, and turned economic advantage into generational dominance. Some nations became rich not because they worked harder, but because they controlled how work itself was organized. Until that changes, poverty isn't a failure, it's a feature, and the factory system is still running, quietly, efficiently, relentlessly.